Good evening, everybody. Hope everyone is well. Let's just get inviting people first of all. So for people watching this back, excuse me for a second. I am just inviting some people on the call. Hope everyone's had a great day. I can see some people come on the call now. So whoever's jumping on the call, get inviting people for me, please. And then I shall get chatting to you in a second. I'm looking forward to tonight's call. Really am. It's going to be a good one. So let's... a couple more. Perfect. Who we got jumping on? Hey Kim. Hey Lauren. Hey Dan. Hey Denise. Good evening, sir. I like that. Hey Jem. Don't forget, guys, get inviting your teams on the call. Good evening, Ellen. Hey, Denise. Hey, Sharon. I'm going to do a couple of minutes of hellos to everybody, then we're going to get started. Morning, buddy. Morning, Letitia. Morning. Morning, it's evening. Good evening. What was that morning for? I think I'm on the wakey calls. Evening, Cynthia. Good evening, Cara. It's like literally like natural reaction. I'm trying to stop myself from saying good morning to everyone. Evening, Sarah. Yeah, it's good. We've got some good numbers coming on the call now. Like it. Hey, Lewis. So we've got Gemma on. Hey, Katie. Hey, Jasmine. Hey, Mary. This is good. Let's get some more numbers on. Hey, Lauren. Hey, Rian. Here we go. There's people coming in. Hey, Jordan. Evening, Becky. There we go. Hey, Terry. Hey, Kirsty. Let's invite a couple more on, and then we should just get straight into it. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry if I've already invited you on and you're already on the call. Just do a couple more invites. Hey, Jill. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, Kenya. Who's put hello? Hey, Lauren. Hey, Tess. Hey, Terry. Ah, it's good. It's cool. Right. I'm probably just going to get straight into it because obviously people are going to be watching this back and I'm doing hellos for a couple of minutes now, so I can't just sit here saying hello to everyone all night. Wish I could, it'd be super fun. But, right, so I want to talk to you guys about time management and preparing your business, as you've seen from the title. Now, the reason why I want to be doing this call, I started doing some more regular calls like this, is because where I'm chatting to a lot of you guys at the minute, and I listen to everything that everyone says. And this is one of the biggest things that I'm picking up on at the minute. And a lot of people think that obviously time management, you know, the main thing about that is making sure you're doing the right things throughout the day and you're running your time effectively. But for me, what it also really boils down to is what you're actually doing within that time limit that you have every single day. Are you working to effectively for your business? Okay, and that's really my thing. What I like doing at a minute with people, and I'm working with people, I can see from an outside perspective the focus and direction what people need to see. So what I want to do on this call is really give you guys what I'm looking at from my perspective, so then you can look at your own business yourself from your perspective, but also you can help and teach others it as well. So really, with time management and preparing your business, what that basically boils down to, the very first thing you guys need to look at, the very first thing you need to look at is how much time do you have a day? And now you need to understand that. And the reason why I've put understanding how much time you have a day is because a lot of us will set our goals, and our goals will be so big that we just haven't got the time to hit them. We haven't, because some of us can just go crazy big for our goals, but then when we boil down to it and think we can effectively work for, I don't know, maybe an hour, 2 hours a day, but our goals are like super crazy. So we need to understand how much time we have in a day, so our goals also relate to that. Now, you can get a lot done in an hour in a day. You really can, but you'll see what I mean by that. So that's the first thing, really, understanding how much time you have in your day. Now, me, I do this business full time. Now, I have a lot more time, but some days I don't have as much time because Cody may be off nursery, or it might be a weekend. Like today, for instance, Cody's been off nursery today. We've taken him out to the zoo. We've had a super fun day. So minimal business stuff has been done today. So I had to make sure my day today was planned out effectively. So I knew that I was having time to do what I needed to do in different time slots throughout the day to make sure my day was still as effective as possible for the time I had today. But I knew this previously, so this was already all planned out in my head. So this is what I want you guys to start learning and understanding about doing the similar motions. So it's also, like I said, it's also learning where your time needs to be spent. So for instance, if you've got an hour a day, what are you doing in that hour and where? And for every single one of us, it's going to be different. It really, really is. I know we're always like, you know, I'm going to cover in a minute what the main things are, but every single one of us watching this call tonight or watching it on playback will be doing different percentages of different tasks every single day. And it's so hot in this room, I can see how much I'm getting redder and redder with the minute in here. It's hot tonight, right? So really where it boils down to understanding how much time you have each day, learning where your time needs to be spent. All this boils down is to setting up your week. God, it's getting hot. Setting up your week every single week, okay? And what I mean by that is set your week up every week. And now what I try and do on a Sunday night is I sit down and I look at the week I've got ahead. I look at my whiteboard, I look at my volumes, I look at the circle group and think, right, where do I need to put my energy every single day in the time I have? Now I know, for instance, I have Monday, Wednesday, Fridays with Cody's at nursery. So effectively I've got from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m. really where I can go work flat out on the business. But I knew this week, for instance, that I'm going to go see my friend tomorrow that I've arranged because he's broke his leg. He's off work for a long, long time. So I'm going to go up and see him for a bit. So I know my morning's out there. I know Friday we're traveling up to see John and Kim. Friends in, hey John, say Kim, see you soon. So I know that Friday, my day is essentially going to be gone. So I'm now I needed to figure out where I can mainly effectively put all my time and effort and energy into the days I have, which is effectively all day Monday, a few hours Tuesday, a few hours Wednesday, and a few hours Thursday, and then a couple of hours here and here across the weekend when I get a chance to get down and do some work. But other weeks is going to be different. So we need to really be studying every single week what we need to be doing and where we need to be doing it. Okay, so my average day, I want to take you through what my average day at the minute looks like to give you a gist of basically what I'm doing every day, and then what I did also when I was in full-time work as well, just to give you guys a little bit of examples, because it's always good with stories and relationship, right? So for me, my average day at the minute, this is an average day when I'm flat out on the business, is I'm up at 5 a.m. every single day. Okay, even if, like, you know, I'm up at 5 a.m. every single day. Sundays is my day off the gym, so I normally get a little bit more of a lay-in, but I'll still be up early. But 5 a.m. I'm up 6 days a week. Okay, and then what I do as soon as I get up, I'm literally on my messages. And what I mean by that is I'm catching up with messages from the previous night before. Now that could be normally 10 to 15 minutes, that is all, because I won't have many to go through, but it's because I would have caught up on the night before I went to bed. So I have 10 to 15 minutes on my messages as soon as I wake up. I come downstairs, I do my gratitude, and I do my visualization on whiteboard. Okay, I've really started implementing that recently. It's a big thing for me now. Then I get to the gym at about 6 a.m. and I'm in the gym until 7. Take Cody to nursery at 8. I'm back home at 8:30, and then from 8:30 until 12, I am focusing on recruiting and sales. Okay, that is all my energy put into that. I normally try and do an hour's housework as well in that time as well, because it needs to get done. Okay, so like Monday was spent an hour ironing. Trust me, I didn't enjoy it, but these things need to get done, right? So my mornings are mainly made up of like a mix of housework and recruiting and sales, okay, in the morning. Then what I have a problem hour, which is 12 to 1 p.m. when if someone comes to me with a problem, no matter when they message me it, then what I do is I say to them, right, I'm going to give you a call at 12, or let's speak tomorrow at 12. And I schedule a call between 12 and 1 when I can basically just deal with any problems. So my negativity and problems is compressed into an hour slot every day. And then I spend an hour normally catching up with our executives. I then spend an hour catching up with a circle group, an hour catching up with executives in the depth, an hour catching up with some of the executive circle groups, because I'm working with some guys there. And then pick Cody up at 5. and then I spend 5 to 8 p.m. with him, and then from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. is a mixture of volume producing stuff, which is catching up on messages, recruiting, sales, and replies throughout the day, any calls I need to do, any lives I need to do like now, any Zoom calls I need to do, and then just things like this what I catch up in the evenings. And that's like my average day at the minute, and I'm on that from literally from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. at night, so you can see how busy I am and how much it's all spread out. Okay, when I was working full-time as a personal trainer, it was a bit different because I was working 60 hours a week. I literally compressed everything into half an hour slots. Literally, in between PT clients, or whenever I had a half an hour break, I was doing something productive, and I was literally breaking that down there and then. And so I've got some examples here, okay, really. So the main areas that you guys need to be focusing on, okay, so you can try and write these down if you want to. I'm going to try and slow down. The main areas you guys need to be focused on every single day. Now, this is for me, but I'm going to talk to you guys about it in a minute. So the main areas, okay, depending on your goals, is going to be recruiting, sales, your circle group, your executives, and when we frontline executives, your executives in your depth, your executive circle groups, okay, problems, and creating content, okay. They're the main areas you need to be focusing on. Now, if you say for instance, you're a distributor, okay, you've just joined a business, or you've been in the business however long, but you're not an executive yet, you're a distributor, okay, and you're going through your LOI. Out of those things I've listed there, right, there's only really 3 things you need to focus on. That's it, just 3, and that's recruiting, sales, and your circle group. That's it. And out of that, you're going to be putting 80% of your time into recruiting, 10% of your time, or maybe 15% of your time into sales, 5% of your time into circle group. And if you notice what I've done there, creating content isn't included in that, okay? And I'm going to go through why in a second. Okay, so let's go through it again. If you're a distributor and you're going through LOI, or you're trying to get to executive, what do you need to be focused on mainly? Recruiting, sales, and your circle group. That's it. Okay, those 3 things. That's it. Simple, right? It's those 3. All you need to be doing is those 3 things. Say for instance, you're an executive. Okay, what do you need to be focused on as an executive? Recruiting, sales, and circle group. Okay, to see the same things from a distributor to an executive, the same things. Too many people as a distributor will focus so much on their recruiting, sales, and circle group like crazy. They get to executive and then they're like, oh, right, now I need to just focus on like creating content. I've got this to deal with, I've got this to deal with, I've got this to deal with. But really, again, all your business boils back down to at this point as an executive is 3 things: recruiting, sales, and circle group. Exactly the same as a distributor. But too many people, when they hit executive, they're like, right, leadership mode, switch off, management mode, and they switch off, and then everything falls down because their focus is in the wrong place. So again, if you're a distributor and you're trying to get to executive, your focus is recruiting, sales, circle group. If you're an executive, what's your focus? Recruiting, sales, circle group. Same thing, okay? Nothing changes. And then, and this is what I love this one as well, okay? So this is where, come on for me please, Dan. I hate iron. This is where it breaks down a little bit. Say for instance you're an executive, okay? And you've got LOIs underneath you, okay? So again, the same thing here: recruiting, sales, circle group. 20% will go on your line of your LOIs, and 80% will be the rest of your team when you're focused on your circle group. So say you're doing 20 minutes of your circle group a day, because that's what you can do. So say you're doing like 20 minutes of your circle group is your team basically beneath you. Adrian, I think the same. Yeah, so your circle group is your team beneath you. So if you're focusing, when you say you're doing 30 minutes in your circle group, yeah, thanks Claire, is going to be, out of that 30 minutes, you're going to be focusing on 20% of your line that's hit LOI and 80% of the rest of the team. What too many people do is put 100% of their effort into the person hitting their LOI. When they break away, you've got nothing left there. But I want to cover that for a bit more in a second. I want to go over myself. If you're, so let me go back to that again. If you're an executive with people with LOIs, that is when you need to be looking at your business, preparing it ready, thinking, right, where do I need to put my time? When I'm in my circle group, where do I need to put it? And you still need to be focused, thinking all the time, where do you need to put your energy? If, say, for instance, you're an executive and you've got executives, okay, underneath you and in your depth, then what do you need to be doing? Recruiting, sales, your circle group, your executives, and your executives in your depth, your executive circle group, your problems, and creating content. To see the difference, though, what's happened when you've started creating, when you've got executives. Now, next to creating content, I've only put here, that is when you've got multiple executives and depth. And the reason being, too many people jump into creating content. Because now let's break this down a little bit, okay? So, problems and creating content is management mode. Okay, because that is what you're in essentially. You're in management mode then. It's not volume producing, okay? Because what creating content is, yes, it's great to be the leader that creates all the content for the team, but if your business isn't at the stage where you can take time out of your day to do that, that's where your focus is in the wrong place. So for instance, you have we have so many groups here, okay? But we're going to use Success Inc as example. So we've got Success Inc. You have all the training and tools in that group, all the content there for you. So be using that as a third party. You don't need to be thinking, right, I need to be one step ahead of the game. I need to create all this content when you're so early in the business, because all you're doing is taking time away from the important things, what you need to be doing right now, and that's creating volumes, you see? And that's why I've only really put creating content boils down to when you've got multiple executives and depth. Because if you haven't got multiple executives in depth, then creating content doesn't need to be on your list, okay? Problems only needs to come into a list really when you've got a lot of executives there. Because again, if someone comes to you with a problem, use yourself as you be the third party. Tap them into people that can help deal with the issues, or they can help with the training and content that needed to be created, okay? So, what I said about problems as well, compress problems into a small time frame. Now I understand when I say problems, we're all going to get people coming us with niggles, with issues or some form of problems. What we need to be doing, rather than just being on a message all day where we just feel like, oh my God, all I'm doing is answering people's questions all day, we compress that into a small amount of time. Like I said, so for me, I have an hour a day doing it. So if I get a message in the morning, oh Dan, this has happened, I say to that person, right, perfect, I'm going to give, look, I'm free at 12 o'clock, let's have a 10-minute call then, or let's have a 20-minute call then, whatever, however busy I am in the hour. If someone then messages me at 2 p.m. with an issue that I can't deal with, say over one message, I'll say to them, right, let me schedule a call in tomorrow at 12 when I'm free. And we have to be doing things like this because we cannot spend our day with our energy in the wrong place. Our energy needs to be in the place it needs to be at that given time. And if we're from I don't know, the time we wake up at 6 a.m. till we go to bed at 10:30 at night, we're literally just replying with problems all day, we're just going to be stressing out and we're not focused on the right thing. And then what happens? Our business isn't fun, and our business needs to be fun, okay? So think about that, guys. Compress your problems into a small space of time, into a very small space of time, because then what happens is just your energy is just there, okay? So, like I say, creating content, okay? Now, Debbie, I used to do this, worked full time with that. Yeah, exactly, Debbie, works. So, creating content. I create content, okay? And I'm not the most creative, but I try my best to be creative. And when I'm writing training calls like this, for instance, 3 pages of calls I've got for tonight's one, I did this during the day. So for me, I'm doing it during the day when nobody's online because everybody's at work. And it's one of the least important things I need to do. So I do it during the day. What I hear this so many times from people, oh, I'm spending tonight doing my business cards, I'm spending tonight redoing my customer group, I'm spending tonight creating loads of images, I'm spending tonight creating posts for my downline, I'm spending tonight doing this, and I'm thinking to myself, this is when customers and potential people are going to be online and you're spending your time building your business cards or spending your time like creating posts for your downline when we have all this content available. This is where we need to be putting our energy into field time, full time. This is where we need to be putting our energy into things that matter, and it's producing volume, okay? Now, I know it's so easy sometimes to fall in what I call the content trap. Now, I fell into that before when I first started, and I'm like, right, I need to be the leader, and I need to create everything and do everything. And Hazel used to say to me, you don't need to, because we have the third-party tools ready for you to do. So when I mean like creating content, Jordan, what I mean by that is So many people will, it can be various things. It can be literally like creating content, can be various things like creating your business cards, can be building custom groups, can be creating posts for people. It can be creating new fancy images and branding and all this kind of cool stuff. Now, I know all that matters, but we've got to think about when we're building the foundations of our business, we've got to think about what matters. And that's volume producing activities, especially when the day is busy. Now, if that is important, exactly. So most of my customers are online at night. Everybody's online at night. So if you're spending your evening not talking to people or not recruiting or getting your sales in the evening when people are there, then your time and energy is being put into the wrong place. That's what I mean. Like if you're spending like this earlier, it took me 45 minutes to prep this call tonight. So I had to really think deep because I wanted to make sure I'm giving good value into what I'm saying. Now, I did this during the day when I knew people was going to be online because it just made sense to be doing them. But if I'm doing that in the evening, it doesn't make any sense. Do you see what I mean there? So, what is volume producing? Okay, so volume producing is things like what's happening doing for time? Oh, really good. It is recruiting, it's sales, it's your circle group, it's your executives in depth, and it's your executive circle group. All that is volume producing if people are on your pay line. Now, what I mean by that is when you've got your executives in your depth, obviously we want to be working down deeper time, but we need to be doing the things that matters most. So we need to take a step back and have a look at our business, and where we spend most of our time is different for each person's business. Now, it's like I said back at the start of the call, okay? If you're a distributor and you're working your way towards executive, you have three main areas you need to be focusing on: recruiting, sales, and circle group. Okay? When you've hit executive, again, three areas, that's it. Recruiting, sales, circle group. I've heard it so many times when people that hit executive. Oh, I'm going to go out and make a getting started booklet. I'm going to go out and make everyone's first month's worth of posts. I'm going to go and create all this new content. Now, we have all the content and getting started training possible needed. When you're an executive, your focus needs to be on getting your volumes because you're still in that foundation phase of your business. But it is very easy, I understand this, to fall back into that management mode. But we need three areas: recruiting, sales, circle group. And like I said, if you're an executive with executives, it changes. Then your focus needs to go different. Does this make sense in what I'm saying, guys? I hope it does, because in my head it makes perfect sense. And sometimes when things make perfect sense in my head and I put it on paper, it doesn't come out the same way as what's in my head. So I hope this is making sense. So where I see a lot of people going wrong in this business, okay, it's people hit executive and then they take their foot off the pedal with recruiting or with sales. Sales is a big one. People hit executive and they're like, right, I don't need to get any sales now, I'm just going to go recruit or build my team. So the biggest thing then what people are doing is they're missing out, and they keep thinking it's still sales. The nature of our business is direct sales. I still focus on sales, not fully, that's not, because my main focus needs to be elsewhere, but part of my day is still focused on sales. Even every day, or just a little tiny bit every day, still focused on sales. I never come off the ball with sales. It's just my energies are in different places. So out these five areas: recruiting, sales, circle group, executive in depth, executive and circle group, for me, problems and creating content, I still focus in sales across that. Yes, you can do, Becky. So let me just read what I put here quickly. Yes, so right. Now, what another people go wrong as well in this business, and this is what, a lot of you guys that aren't executive yet, some of this may not make sense yet, but the reason why I want this trying to sink in now for you guys, that when you do get executive, then you're not going to let this happen. Because what a lot of people do, okay, let me get a drink first. When they get to executive, and say for instance, so you just hit exec, and you've got one person underneath you that going for LOI. Or no, they just hit LOI. So next month they're in the Q1. Okay, so you know they need their 1,500 points. Now they're building that slowly. They're getting their points. They're getting their volumes. Now you decide. You're then putting all your energy into that one person. Okay, getting their 1,500 points, all of it, because that's where your volume's coming from, right? So you'll think, right, okay, my volume needs to come there because that's where my volume's coming from as executive. I need to keep pushing that person because then it's going to keep coming up for me. That's a mistake, okay? And that's what a lot of people do, because then what happens is when that person breaks away as executive, you haven't put time and energy into anybody else in your circle group or recruiting. So what happens? That person breaks away from you, and then you've got no one sitting there, and then you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? And I see this happening all the time. So what we need to be doing, so for instance, you're an executive and you've got one person, like I said, going for 1,500 points, okay? Now, they know their goals. They've hit LOI, they're going for it. Do they need 100% of your energy when you're working in your circle group? Say you're doing an hour a day in your circle group. This is a pure example. You're doing 1 hour a day of your circle group. In that hour, do you need to spend all your time and energy on that person that's going for 1,500 points and the people beneath them in their line? You need to be still put time into them. You have to put time into them, but you're going to put like 20% of your time in them. The bulk of your time is then going to be in other people, creating more lines and more depth. Because when that person that's got their big dreams and goals to get to executive, hits executive and breaks away from you, you've rebuilt. You've got people there coming back through. You've got strength in your circle group. So you're constantly going to be maintaining executive, even with people breaking away from you. Your 3,000 is going to be coming in easy because recruiting, sales, and your energy in your circle group is in the right place. Now, does that make sense? I hope it does, because I'm talking to a lot of people about this at the minute, and we're like, right, okay, this person looks like they're going to break away from you. Right, so you need to be building this person, this person, and this person, and bringing new people in, because that person's got their volumes, they've got their goals, they're all good. You know, just help them and guide them. Okay, so does that make sense a bit? I hope it does. Right, let me just read this last bit here. Right. Yes, okay, so understanding your business is going to help you prepare it for the next month. Now, again, what I mean by this is we constantly need to be thinking a month ahead, okay? When we're prepping for, we need to have in our head the vision of how our business is going to go, okay? I'm always constantly thinking a month ahead. I'm looking at my whiteboard. I'm looking at our executives, I'm looking at the circle group, I'm looking at some of the executive in depth, and I'm envisioning, right, what is going to be happening next month? What do I want to happen in business next month? And how can I put my energy this month into making that happen? But also, like I said, breakaways are the biggest thing, okay? So if you're putting energy into your only person getting your volume when they break away, you'd have got nothing there. So you need to be replacing that. But also, for instance, if you are going for, I don't know, if you're going for real LOI, and you know, month one you need your 1,000 points, and a lot of the time what that happens is a lot of it I always think 6 moves ahead. Yeah, exactly, 100%. So when you're going through LOI, for instance, and you're going for your 1,000 points, and you say you're getting most of that yourself, you know for a fact that when you've got your 1,500 coming in next month, that you're going to need a bit more of a team beneath you, unless you are a killer salesperson. So again, where do we need to maintain the energy? And that point ready for next month in recruiting and getting people started. Okay, but this is the big thing. Now, getting people started, I put energy in. You have to put energy in getting people started, but how much energy do we put in? Some people put so much energy into getting people started that it takes time away from them, from their sales and their recruiting. We've got so many tools here to help people get started. We really have. Be the third party and tap people into the tools that we have available, and then help and guide people. So it's all about focusing, putting your energy into the right place. Because otherwise, what's going to happen if your energy is in the wrong place, when the next month comes and you've put all your energy into the place to help you that month, but not to help you in the next month, you're potentially going to be in trouble. Now, we don't want that to happen, so you've always got to be thinking one step ahead. Okay, what's going to happen when this person does this beneath me? Okay, this is going to happen, so I need to be focusing on here and doing this. And like I said, it is like chess, and it's constantly where you're literally going ding, 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 and moving around. And that's what I like to do with people, is when I'm talking to someone, whenever I'm talking to someone, I'm always looking in the back office, have a look at the circle groups, have a look at their executive, just seeing where I feel like their energy needs to be. And I want to use Debbie McPhillips as an example here. Me and Debbie done this a lot. And me and Debbie had a big chat, and I sat back and I said to Debbie, and I was like, right, I think I can help you do this, this, and this over here, which leaves you space to do this, this, and this over here. And she was like, oh, it really, really does, Anne. Thank you so much. And it's playing now, and it's helping us so much for them. So it's all about just taking a step back, having a look at your business, seeing where the direction you want your business to go, and understanding where you need to be putting your energy, because too many people put energy in the wrong place. Okay, now even if you're doing a volume producing activity, for instance, sometimes you can be putting that completely into the wrong place. You know, for instance, I'm going to use the example here. Say you've got someone, say you've just hit executive, and all your volume is coming from one person beneath you that's going for it, and that, you know, you're in your first month executive, you've got one person beneath you, they're going for their Q2, they're smashing it, you know they're going to get it because they're killing it. Now, what your energy then needs to be all in, into literally all in recruiting and getting people started, and that's on the volume, and also like your sales as well. Now, what I said, a mistake a lot of people do is put all their energy into that one person going for it. So even though that one person going for it is volume producing, it's not going to help you the next month afterwards. So we need to be thinking about, okay, where this is volume producing, where do I need to put my energy for my business into volume producing? Now, I've said this before on a call, I can't sit here and say to you guys, right, you guys need to be doing this, 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 and this every single day in these percentages. Yes, we need to be focusing on that, but sometimes someone's business may need slightly different energy elsewhere, and we need to be addressing that and looking at it, making sure we're going forward in the right way. I can see people saying it makes so much sense. So glad. Sometimes, like I said to you, when I've got something in my head and I know how to say it, I know it works, and I write it down, I'm like, yes, this makes sense. And then I know, sometimes I don't say it and I'm like, oh, does it make sense? Okay. So, like I said, and a lot of this, okay, I know I'm talking a lot about executives, but the reason why I'm doing it here, because even as a distributor, if we can understand this, and learn about it now, and learn about where we need to put our energy and where we need to put our time management, then when we do start building a good, strong business and we start breaking away, we've already got the skills there. We've already got the organization and the business there. Okay, does that make sense? So when it boils down to time management and understanding how much time you have in a day, what you need to be doing. So what I do, like I say, every Sunday night, I look at my week and my week coming up, and I say, right, I have 18 hours that day I can work the business, but let me break that down into slots. So I've got 15 minutes in the morning, then I've got my personal development in the gym, then I've got 3-4 hours here, hour there, then I've got 3 hours in the evening there. And then what I do is I fill those times. Right, what am I going to be doing that time? So, okay, recruiting the sales, problems, execs, the execs in depth, circle group, do you see what I mean? And you break it down. Say for instance, now I had a call with somebody the other day, and she was like, do you know what, Dan, I'm doing this time, Leanne, that's a question for another day. I'll talk to you about that separately. This is a time management call now. So for instance, when I was talking to someone the other day and they said, oh, you know, I've got 5 hours a week. I was like, right, perfect. So what we need to be doing then is breaking that down. We need it daily because you need to be consistent, and we just break it down into daily things. So what they went and done was perfect. They got the printed out the Successing daily checklist, literally done it in 15-minute divides, and then done it every day. Now, I'll say when I was working 60 hours a week and I didn't have as much time, what I needed to do was fill out the time slots I had into the important things that mattered. Now, what mattered, because I was going for executive when I was working 60 hours a week, what mattered then, recruiting, sales, and working my circle group, because that's what got me my volumes. Do you see what I mean? Like, and that's how we need to be doing. That's how we need to be focusing on it. Now, I've had it before when, you know, recruiting always has to be at the forefront of it. But for me, I spent a week once and I didn't focus on recruitment at all. But the only reason for that was because I had a very big circle group and I wanted to help those guys get active and get those guys volume, because I was all put in a small order. So I really wanted to help drive them more. And that's when I really started working on the 90-day goals. This was back quite a few months ago. Actually. And what happened then was, even though I didn't actually focus on recruiting, my volumes had gone up because I was doing the volume producing activity in the right place for that given moment in time for me. And then afterwards, when all the volumes were coming through from the circle group, I could then focus back on recruiting. To see what I mean, how I needed to balance my energy by taking a step back, looking at my business, assessing my goals, and seeing where I need to be putting my focus and energy. energy matters, but it's where you put your energy what counts. Now, we can be putting our energy in the wrong place, and that is where our business is going to suffer if we're putting them in the wrong place. Okay, so this is one other big thing as well. Okay, and it is what I'm going to refer back to my 90-day goals call. If you've not heard it because you're watching this back, or you knew, or you haven't seen it yet, jump on, have a look, just search 90-day goals and successing, and have a watch of that call. Because if we're learning and teaching 90-day goals, then what we can be doing, it's going to help. Sorry, I read Jenny's comment. But so if we're, right, let me run back this again. Right, so my 90-day goal call, okay? If we're learning and teaching 90-day goals now, time management as well, what's that going to do? That is going to build strength and excel our businesses, because 90-day goals and driving lines is what's going to create those lines and lines of volume, okay, in Circle Group. Time management is going to help you balance your business and grow it. And if you can learn and understand those two and teach them, boom, we've just jumped on a rocket. Jenny, this made a huge difference to me this week after a call. Exactly. So again, I'm going to use Jenny's example. So what I done then with Jenny, we had a call earlier in the week, and when I was on the call with Jenny, I took a step back, and as we were chatting away, and I looked at her business, and I was right. I can see this week your energy needs to be put here, here, and here. And she was like, "Yep, oh, that makes so much sense." And look, you can see there, huge difference for this week already, just after a call. You know, so it's always just about taking a step back and thinking, right, where do I need to put my energy? Okay, this line is doing really, really well, so I need to put my energy in here, here, and here. And they only need checking in a little bit. They need a little bit more time, not a big bit of time. Making a checklist. Colleen, we have a Successing daily checklist. This is what I mean, creating content. You guys don't need to create content. Lucy, the checklist is in the files of Successing. So again, remember what I said to you guys, if you're going for executive, creating content doesn't need to be there, because we have all the content available for you guys. So when you're going for executive, again, recruiting, sales, Circle Group, okay, and balancing your energy there. So for instance, what I used to do when I was working towards executive, my energy, okay, it was literally 80% of my day was focused on recruiting, 80% of my time a day. And if that was 1 hour, 2 hours, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours a day, 80% of that time was focused on recruiting for me. 15% of that time was focused on sales. 5% of that was focused on working my Circle Group to help those guys, okay, to see where my energy was put, because I knew I needed to build strength and get the sales to get the volumes. When I hit executive, I didn't change that, okay? I didn't think, right, I'm now a huge leader, I need to just go and create content, I can switch off from sales, I need to just focus on my team and nothing more than that. I didn't do that. I kept the same ratio, because I knew nothing had really changed me, essentially, apart from my commissions had like quadrupled, trebled 5 times, however much it was. It was a huge, big jump for me when I got to executive, because I kept my focus in the right place. I didn't switch, I didn't take my foot off the pedal. I looked back and understood, and I could see when someone was getting lots of volume, I knew I needed to put in elsewhere, because I knew they was going to break away from me. I didn't think, oh my God, shit, they're going to break away, I'm going to lose everything. I thought, right, they're going to do that. Now I need to do this, and this is where all my energy is going to be, and I'm going to help them a little bit as they need it, but my energy is going to be over here. I'm very visual as I do things, aren't I? So, good timing. I hope that's helped everybody. I'm going to jump off the call now, because I don't want to be too long, because time management. But yeah, I hope this has helped everyone. I hope it's made sense. Leanne, I shall pop you a message and explain the breakaway situation to you. But yeah, I hope this has made sense, guys. So always just remember, like I said, the key points, what we take away from here, okay? There's volume producing activities. For me, the volume producing activities are these. It is recruiting, sales, working your Circle Group, working with your executives in depth, and working with your executive Circle Groups. Now, what you need to be doing is figuring out where you need to be putting your energy and how much time and energy you need to be putting into those categories for the time that you have every single day. Okay? Right, have a great evening, everybody. I am going to switch off now and get back to some work and time management. And Leanne, I'll pop you a message. Hope everyone's had a great evening. Have a great day, and we'll speak to you all soon.